So today we are going to study, we have done the whole accounting cycle in our last lectures. Today we are going to study some new concepts which relates with the capital and revenue expenditure. You have an idea about this, I can understand, but we will study it again. This is my book, I will give it to you book. This includes all the notes and other stuff for you, and you will get it soon. So capital and revenue expenditure, there are conditions which differentiate that how an expenditure is of capital nature or of revenue nature. Number one condition is fixed or circulating asset. It says if a non-current asset, if an expenditure is incurred on the purchase of a non-current asset, it is a capital expenditure. For example, building purchase, machinery purchase, it is a capital expenditure. If a non-current asset is purchased, we will treat it as a capital expenditure. But if the expenditure is incurred on the purchase of goods or on the purchase of any other stuff which is purchased for resale purpose, then it is a revenue expenditure. These are the names which we use. All items, remember that first, all items which comes in the balance sheet are of capital nature. Building, machinery, motor vehicle, current assets, capital, liabilities, loan, they are of capital nature. So all items which comes in the income statement, means expenses and income, they are of revenue nature. So we can differentiate it very easily because I have made you clear that balance sheet items are capital expenditures and all income statement items are revenue expenditures. Because revenue expenditures are those expenditures which are incurred for the normal running of the business. Revenue expenditures are day-to-day expenses. They are incurred for the normal running of the business. Day-to-day expenses are called, that is the cost of doing business. Normal running expenses for the business is called revenue expenditure, and all items given in the income statement are of revenue nature. Again, you can ask the question, sir, income statement also includes sales. Sales is not an expenditure. Sales is a revenue income. As we have revenue expenditures, we have revenue income also. Sales is a revenue income, right? But currently we are just discussing capital and revenue expenditure to clear the concept first. So next we will move forward. If you look at it, that the first condition is fixed or circulating asset. I have given you the idea first, and now we are moving towards fixed or circulating asset. Fixed means non-current asset. So if an expenditure is incurred on the purchase of a non-current asset, or for example, carriage paid on machinery purchased. You have purchased machinery, but in order to put it into working condition, you have given the carriage expense or installation expense that will be treated as part of machinery because it is included in the cost of machinery. So it is a capital expenditure. AC आप purchase करते हैं, आजकल गर्मी है, you know that. You have installed a new inverter in your room. When you purchase that inverter, the cost of purchasing the inverter is the cost of your asset. It's a non-current asset. But if you have paid carriage to bring that AC into your home, or you have paid the installation charges, it is also treated as a part of cost of asset. It is still a part of cost of the AC. So you will record all the cost as an asset in the AC, and all the cost becomes your cost of asset. So they all expenditures are capital expenditures. Means the installation charges, carriage, that is called a capital expenditure because they are incurred on the purchase of a non-current asset. Machinery, AC खरीदने पर हुए ना, तो capital expenditure कहलाएगा. But anything which is purchased for resale purpose, and you have paid some expenses for that, that is your revenue expenditure. That will be treated your revenue expenditure. Circulating asset means which is purchased for resale purpose. So goods purchased for sale, goods purchased from A, they are all revenue expenditures because goods are purchased for resale purpose. और आपको ये भी पता है कि purchases जो हैं वो इनकम स्टेटमेंट में आती हैं, तो डेफिनेटली वो रेवेन्यू नेचर की आइटम है, तो दैट इज नोन एज रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर, क्योंकि एक्सपेंस तो हुआ ही है ना, पेमेंट तो की है आपने. अगर आप एसेट खरीदते हो तो दैट इज योर कैपिटल expenditure as discussed earlier. Any problem till here, Manal, about this first condition? This is only the one condition which differentiate between capital and revenue expenditure. Any problem, Manal? Any problem, Akil, Nasser? Any problem in this concept? Yes, please. Yes. Omar, any problem?
No, sir.
Okay, Akhil, that's good. Umar, Manal, and Nasser, you are not ready to speak. Maybe you are in the class, but you are away from the class. You are not, answering me, or you have some distortion in your speaker or some problem with the internet facility. So this is the first
सर
condition we have studied. Yes, please.
मैं कहा सर चैप्टर क्या
Who
ओके
is there?
सर ये तो हमने पढ़ा हुआ है चैप्टर स्कूल में
Yes, got it. Actually, Umar, this is, you are coming. This is your first class, I believe. Umar, we have studied basically the accounting subject of accounting from the scratch. I have started from the transaction, from the accounting equation, and then we have moved forward, and we have reached to this level that we are doing capital and revenue expenditure, and then after that we will do books of prime entry, and after books of prime entry we will start doing provision for doubtful debts, depreciation. Till which chapter you have studied, Umar? If I will ask you something. Sorry,
सर
come again.
सर आई गेस 9 चैप्टर तक पढ़ा था लेकिन मुझे भूल गया हुआ है सारा
So 9 chapters.
डेप्रिसिएशन तक पढ़ा मेरे ख्याल मैंने पढ़ा है डेप्रिसिएशन
Okay. So maybe in the next I hope so next 3 lectures in the first week of July. उमर आप अपना माइक बंद करो, आवाज आपके साथ डिस्टॉर्ट हो रही है. हाँ, अब सही है. Whenever you want to speak, you can open your mic then when I will ask you some question, or you have some question, you can raise your hand also from here. You can raise your hand like that, right? So I will pick up your question then. So we have studied 10 chapters, so we have studied earlier, because in the last time we have prepared journal entries, ledger accounts, T accounts, income statement, balance sheet. I have given homework of 9.1, 9.3 till 9.6. If you want to do, you just do homework from 9.3 from your Frankfurt book till 9.6, and you can send me, you can upload the assignment, because assignments has marks. You all should go for the assignments. These have marks. So I have nothing to do with that. I'm extremely sorry that marks are going to be deducted. I have to give 0 for those who are not appearing and who are not giving assignments or who are not attending class. It will not help you stay, because you don't know when papers are going to, when the physical papers are going to happen. Maybe we will study for long this way. So you have to come up in the class, and you can raise question also. Question is simple. If you are not able to understand, you can ask me. But if you are not coming, you can't say that. I won't give you this liberty to raise your voice that we didn't understand the video lectures, we didn't understand the online classes, right? This is not fair. This is completely unfair, and this will not be acceptable, because I have all the records. I will show it to your parents. This is what was happening and how I am calling them. These are all recorded lectures. Listen to me. These are all recorded lectures. It's not like that. Whatever I am doing, if I am calling someone, it's going to be recorded. If I'm asking something, if you are online and I'm asking you something, Manal, you're not answering, it has been recorded. We can show it to your parents, we can show it to anybody else. So there is nothing like that. Okay, you will say that those who are not coming in the class, so they will feel happy that okay, we will say that we don't have internet, and they can say that like that. Then this is the problem rests with the parents, because it is their duty to provide you with the internet. Okay. As I discussed with you, we are discussing capital and revenue expenditure. We will move to business documents and books of prime entry, but then our chapters provision for doubtful debts, bad debts, depreciation will start, and they are very important. Obviously, we have lots of questions coming in the past papers, and we will be doing the past papers also. I won't do that we will be continuing solving from the book. No, I will do every past paper question with you, with every chapter. But currently, as we are dealing with the basics like capital and revenue expenditure, we will do the past papers from this also. I will go for that after teaching you today even. Then business document, they are all theoretical topics. Books of prime entry, when we start, we are not going to do books of prime entry as you were doing before. We will do it in a different manner, and that way you should adopt. We thought that is the right way to do books of prime entry, to understand your concept, which we used to teach in A levels also. It is not separated. Books of prime entries are not separate chapters like sales journal, purchase journal separately. No, we will do it in a combined question, and that will make your concept very clear. Okay, let's move forward. We were discussing about capital and revenue expenditure, fixed or circulating asset. If an expenditure is incurred on the purchase of a non-current asset, it is a capital expenditure. And if an expenditure is incurred on the purchase of a circulating asset, which is purchased for resale purpose, it's a revenue expenditure. All those expenses which comes in the balance sheet are capital expenditures, and all those items which comes in the income statement are of revenue nature. Next condition is period of benefit. If an expenditure gives you benefit for more than 1 year, it is a capital expenditure. Otherwise, it's a revenue expenditure. For example, you have paid salary to your employee for 1 year. That is your revenue expenditure because you have made the payment. The expense has been incurred. The benefit is also utilized by you. But if you have painted your newly built house, if you have painted your newly built house, that will be your capital expenditure. Why? Because the first time painting expense will give you benefit for more than 1 year. पहली दफा जो अपने हाउस को रीपेंट कराओगे या पेंट कराओगे, सॉरी नॉट रीपेंट, तो वो आपको एक ज्यादा साल के लिए फायदा देगा. फॉर एग्जांपल, कोला नेक्स्ट, you have seen that this is the new product launched by the Pakistani company Coca-Cola. You have seen that Nargis Fakhri was coming at the first instance. Now Sabah Kamar is going in the ad. You have seen that ad. It's a good one. Both ads basically tells us that because the launching of a new product, they are going for heavy expenditures, but these expenditure will benefit them in the next few years. So the first time expenditure, but they are doing for the advertisement of a new product, that will be treated as a capital expenditure. Why, sir? Because the period of benefit of that expenditure is for more than 1 year. But when the Cola Next is going to be a normal cola for all of us, like I'm not getting it, my family is not getting it, my parents, my brothers, they are not having Cola Next even months. People are not following that. Once it started following, then the expenditure will become normal. As Pepsi, Coca-Cola, they are doing their normal expenditure. That is normal expenditure. But for a new product, the first time expenditure which they are doing, which we do, that is our capital expenditure. So period of benefit does matters, because if an expenditure benefit us for more than 1 year, it is a capital expenditure. Otherwise, it is a revenue expenditure. Next is initiation of business. All expenditures are incurred to start the business. For example, you started a new business and you have gone for an agreement, partnership agreement, and you paid the legal fee. That is a capital expenditure. आपने वकील को जो पैसे दिए हैं एग्रीमेंट बनाने के लिए, वो कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर कहलाएंगे, क्योंकि वो बिजनेस के शुरू के खर्चे हैं. All expenditure which you incurred to start the business, they are all capital expenditure. Preliminary expenses होते हैं इब्तदाई खर्चे. ये जो होते हैं ना प्रमोटर्स हु आर एंगेज्ड इन कंपनी फॉर्मेशन वर्क, बिजनेस में पढ़ा है आपने, ठीक है, तो उनको हम क्वालिफिकेशन शेयर्स देते हैं, डायरेक्टर्स को, प्रमोटर्स को भी शेयर्स इशू करते हैं हम फॉर देयर सर्विसेज. दे आर ऑल कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर्स बिकॉज दे आर इनकर्ड इन द इनिशिएशन ऑफ द बिजनेस, एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द बिजनेस. तो कोई भी खर्चा जो नॉन करंट एसेट पर किया जाए कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर है, जिसका फायदा 1 साल से ज़्यादा अरसे के लिए हो कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर है. जो बिजनेस के शुरू में खर्चे किए जाएँ, दे आर ऑल कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर. वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट अ न्यू स्कूल, बिल्डिंग खरीदी, मशीनरी खरीदी, मोटर व्हीकल परचेज की, लैंड खरीदा, सब कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर है बिकॉज दे आर इनकर्ड एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द बिजनेस. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज एक्सटेंशन ऑफ बिजनेस और एंड इंक्रीज इन द अर्निंग कैपेसिटी. एनी एक्सपेंडिचर which will extend your business, or because of that the earning capacity of the business will increase, that is your capital expenditure. If an expenditure results in the increase in the earning capacity, that is your capital expenditure. Otherwise it will remain your revenue expenditure. For example, मैंने स्कूल में एक ब्लॉक और बना दिया so that we can hire more teachers and we can gather more students. We were running short of space, तो मैंने एक और बिल्डिंग बना दिया. So it has 3 rooms. It means we can gather more students, we can earn more money. So that will increase the earning capacity of the business. Business will extend. I have changed the reception area of the school. Reception area जो है वो मैंने बड़ा ही ज़बरदस्त जो है वो बाहर की यूनिवर्सिटियों की तरह बना दिया, ठीक है जी. और वहाँ पे हमने एक जो है रिसेप्शन पे अमेरिकन स्टाफ रखा. Obviously people will gather over there. We can enhance our business. It will increase the earning capacity of the business. It will extend our business. That will be capital expenditure. Complete renovation of cinema hall. Cinema hall की complete renovation कर दी. It will increase the earning capacity of the business. पहले टाउन का सिनेमा हॉल लोग जाना ज़्यादा पसंद करते हैं क्योंकि उसकी कैपेसिटी, उसका सीटिंग अरेंजमेंट, सोफा सीट वगैरह बहुत अच्छी है, तो उसकी अर्निंग कैपेसिटी ज़्यादा है, इसी वजह से टिकट भी महंगी है. So if business is going to extend, it will increase the earning capacity of the business and that will be a capital expenditure. For example, you have increased the seating capacity in the cinema hall, and you have installed more seats. When you have installed more seats, more people will come. When more people will come, your earning capacity will increase, business will extend. That is a capital expenditure because you will increase the earning capacity of the business. For example, I have a van, school van, और मैं वैन चलाता हूँ और बच्चों को स्कूल छोड़ता हूँ और लेता हूँ. मैंने स्कूल वैन के अंदर एक दरमियान में छोटी सीट होती है, वो लगवा दी. According to my business, that seat will help me out because I can now more children can sit on that seat. That will be a capital expenditure again. It will help my business. It is a capital expenditure because my earning capacity will increase. It will extend my business. That is also treated as a capital expenditure. मैं एक बुचर शॉप पे काम करता हूँ और मैंने बुचर शॉप के लिए एक रेफ्रिजरेटर परचेज किया. It is a capital expenditure because in the refrigerator I can have more stock of flesh. I can have more stock of meat easily. So my earning capacity will increase. I can sell more. In a bookshop, I have gone for more shelves. If I will install more shelves, then I can deal with more customers and I can have more employees. This will also increase my earning capacity and my business will extend. So it's a capital expenditure. वैसे भी नॉन करंट एसेट ही है ना, फर्नीचर में आता है. Any expenditure which is incurred, which will result in the increase in the earning capacity or extension of business, या बिजनेस के शुरू में किया जाए या नॉन करंट एसेट पे किया जाए, वो आपके कहलाते हैं कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर. रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर क्या होते हैं? रनिंग एक्सपेंसेस, यहाँ लिखा हुआ है सामने. रनिंग एक्सपेंसेस और नॉर्मल डे टू डे एक्सपेंसेस are called revenue expenditure. All items which comes in the income statement are of revenue nature, and all expenditure incurred to put the asset into working condition are capital expenditures. Machinery खरीदी, capital expenditure. Machinery install की, still a part of machinery. It is also capital expenditure. It will added into the cost of the machinery. So all expenditure incurred to put the asset into working condition are capital expenditure, and all items given in the income statement are of revenue nature. They are known as revenue expenditure because they are incurred in normal running of the business, or you can say that they are day-to-day expenses. Any problem, Akhil, till here? Akhil, any problem? Nasser, Manal, if you find any problem, you can ask me, otherwise I'll go forward. Yes? Any problem, Akhil? Hello? जी, तो नेक्स्ट हम चलते हैं जी. नेक्स्ट आपका है, नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज अबाउट बिजनेस डॉक्यूमेंट्स. कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर हमने पढ़ा है, इसकी एग्जांपल थोड़ी देख लेते हैं फ्रॉम द पास्ट पेपर्स. सी, हियर इज द क्वेश्चन. परचेज ऑफ स्पेयर्स फॉर मशीनरी. Which expenditure is this, capital expenditure or revenue expenditure? It is a revenue expenditure because spare parts is become out of order every year. Spares मतलब spare parts. So that is not a capital expenditure. It is not purchased first time for the machinery. Machinery is already installed. We have purchased spares for machinery, so that is a revenue expenditure. Installation of additional machinery, that is capital expenditure because new machinery is purchased, new machinery is installed. That is a capital expenditure. Repair to office equipment, revenue expenditure. Because repair doesn't mean that there will increase in the earning capacity or your asset will extend. तो इसमें वापा नहीं होगा, वो अपनी पहली वाली हालत में वापस आएगा. आपने गाड़ी खराब हो जाती है आपकी, उसकी मरम्मत करवाई, फिर पहली वाली हालत में वापस आ जाएगी, तो उसमें नई चीज़ तो नहीं लग जाएगी, उसकी स्पीड डबल तो नहीं हो जाएगी. तो रिपेयर टू ऑफिस इक्विपमेंट इज स्टिल अ रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर एंड इट्स अ नॉर्मल एक्सपेंस. परचेज ऑफ एडिशनल लूज टूल्स इज अ कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर बिकॉज लूज टूल्स इज अ नॉन करंट एसेट. वी विल डिस्कस दैट इन डिटेल in the chapter of depreciation, but I will let you know something. Loose tools are non-current asset. For example, जो आपके होते हैं जो आपने रखे होते हैं गाड़ी में, टूल पाना, टूल्स, वो सब आपके लूज टूल्स में आते हैं. हथौड़ी वगैरह ये सब चीज़ें लूज टूल्स के अंदर शामिल की जाती हैं. इवन के कटलरी और रेस्टोरेंट के अंदर कटली प्लेट्स ये सब यूज टूल्स में आती हैं. They are small assets, you can say like that also. Next is again advertising campaign. You have gone for, it is a capital expenditure or revenue expenditure. It's a capital expenditure, or it's a revenue expenditure, because advertisement can be done on regular basis, as we have seen on the TV also. Every person, every organization is basically going for advertisement every year. This is a normal expenditure, so it's a revenue expenditure. A new computer system is a non-current asset. When you purchase it as a new one, it is a non-current asset, so it's a capital expenditure. Purchase of computer CDs is a revenue expenditure, क्योंकि CD बेटा एक्सपायर हो जाती है. ये CD जब पुरानी हो जाती है तो वो यूज नहीं होती है. अब देखो आजकल CDs तो आती ही नहीं, खत्म हो गई. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि वो रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर होती है, कि वो एक्सपायर हो जाती है, खत्म हो जाती है आफ्टर सर्टेन पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए यूज नहीं होती हैं, तो रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर में कहलाई जाती हैं ये. नेक्स्ट जी आपका क्वेश्चन नंबर 5. V Cares is a motor vehicle dealer. V Cares is a motor vehicle dealer. State whether each of the following expenses of V Cares is capital expenditure or revenue expenditure. Purchase of fixture and fitting. जी अकील बताएं, capital expenditure or revenue expenditure?
Capital expenditure.
Exactly, it's a capital expenditure, because when you purchase fixture and fitting, it's a non-current asset, so it is a capital expenditure. अकील आप आगे बताएंगे साथ साथ मेरे. परचेज ऑफ मोटर व्हीकल फॉर इन्वेंट्री फॉर रीसेल, ये क्या होगा? अकील, परचेज ऑफ मोटर व्हीकल फॉर इन्वेंट्री फॉर रीसेल.
Revenue.
Yes, right. It's a revenue expenditure, because if the motor vehicle you have purchased and that is for resale purpose, then definitely it's a revenue expenditure. Why, sir? Motor vehicle is a non-current asset. Yes, you are right. But V Cares is a motor vehicle dealer. Here it is written. So for him, motor vehicle which is purchased for resale purpose, that is treated as his normal goods. That is the purchases he is doing and selling. So for V Cares, if you purchase a delivery vehicle for business use or for resale purpose, that will be treated as revenue expenditure. But purchase of number 3, purchase of delivery vehicle for business use by Cares, that will be treated as capital expenditure. Why, sir? Because that delivery vehicle is a non-current asset. It is retained in the business. It is not for resale. They will be retained in the business, and that is not sold out. So it will be treated as revenue expenditure or capital expenditure, sorry. But all the motor vehicle which is purchased as inventory for resale purpose, because he is a motor vehicle dealer, they are called revenue expenditure. So number 2 is revenue expenditure, but number 3 looks like the same, but that is capital expenditure. Why? Because the delivery vehicle is not for resale, that is for business use. It will rest in the business, it will stay in the business, it will use for longer period of time. It is a non-current asset because it's not for resale. Purchase of tires for the delivery vehicle, it's a revenue expenditure. Payment to builder for addition to sale premises, it's a capital expenditure. Why? Because we are installing, that is an addition of the premises. We are extending the building. When building will extend, the sale premises will extend. Our revenue we will be able to generate more revenue. Income will increase, business will extend. It's a capital expenditure. Payment of interest on loan for the sale premises addition, that is an expense. It comes in the income statement, so it will be treated as revenue expenditure. Same. Next is a sport goods wholesaler. Purchase of goods for resale, revenue expenditure है. Interest on bank loan, revenue expenditure. Repayment of bank loan, capital expenditure. Repair to word processor, revenue expenditure. Extension to premises, capital expenditure. Purchase of second hand motor vehicle, capital expenditure. यहाँ पे एक बहुत जरूरी है समझना. You have purchased the motor vehicle for the first time. It was not in your use previously. You have purchased a new motor vehicle. Although it is second hand, but for you it is new one. So your non-current asset is increased. Whenever the non-current asset is going to increase, or you purchase a non-current asset, that will be a capital expenditure. So purchase a second-hand motor vehicle is still a capital expenditure for you, because you have newly purchased it. So anything expenditure, any expenditure income on the purchase of a non-current asset, it is treated as a capital expenditure, right? ये हमने capital expenditure कुछ examples भी किए हैं. I want you to solve through this chapter from your book 24.7 and 24.8. You need to solve it and you need to upload or you need to send me through WhatsApp the solution of that 24.7 and 24.8. What I want you to do for that, you are only supposed to write.
सर कौन सी exercise?
मैं अभी लिख देता हूँ 24.7 and 24.8 from your book Frankfurt. And you can send me. You just need to write capital and revenue expenditure. You don't need to write all the things. Just write capital and revenue expenditure. That would be enough. This is what I want to do. 24.7 and 24.8 and then 9.3 say till 9.6 you have to solve, prepare income statement and balance sheet. This is the homework which we have done earlier. Then I have asked you to solve 4.2 and 4.3 in the past. This is what we have done till today. Okay, next is our chapter is business documents. There is a word known as objective evidence. There is a word known as objective evidence. Objective evidence means that for every transaction which you do in accounting, you should have some evidence for that. Means you should have some proper evidence so that it can be used after the transaction. For example, if you go for any shopping to a shopping center, when you purchase something from there, you will get a receipt. That receipt is an evidence that you have purchased some goods from the same market. So that is basically your objective evidence, because that receipt is used as an evidence. If something is wrong, you will go with that receipt to the same market and you will ask them that I want to return it or I want to change it. When you do that, if you want to change it, you should have the receipt with you. You will show the receipt and you can do the stuff. After showing the receipt, you can do that easily, that you can return that easily because you have the evidence with you. You have the evidence with you that the goods I have purchased from the same shop. This is known as objective evidence. And all business documents, accounting says that whenever you are going for a transaction, you should keep evidence of that. For example, I'm delivering you the lecture, but I'm also recording it because that recording is used as an evidence. Nobody can deny that. I have gone for the lecture, I have taught you to my fullest potential. That is an evidence. Same is the case, that receipt which has been given to you is an evidence that you have purchased those goods from that same shop. So in accounting, for every transaction, you should have evidence of that so that it can be used later on to save you from any kind of confusion. So they are used as an objective evidence. All business documents are used as an objective evidence for the transaction relating with the field of accounting. Any transaction in accounting, we will use these evidence for all transactions which we are going to go for in accounting. As an accountant, as a business accountant for a business, the first one is invoice. Receipt के बारे में मैंने हल्का सा बताया समझाने के लिए. The first one is basically invoice. As I discussed you, accounting concept का हम करेंगे. मैं अपलोड करूँगा इंशाल्लाह आपके लिए एक quiz. You have to solve that quiz and you have to return it to me. Send it back to me. It will be an easy one. It will not be that difficult. We have gone for some assignments also. I have given you 1, 2, 3. That is 1, 3, and this is going to be the fourth one. 4 assignments we have done till now, and I'll be giving you the next one, which will be a quiz. and you will solve it in front of me. It will be uploaded from my side. So we will discussing about business documents today, and after completing this, we will move towards books of prime entry. We will complete our books of prime entry, and then we will move towards provision for doubtful debts, depreciation, bank reconciliation statement, control accounts, final account of sole trader, and then errors, incomplete records, non-profit ratios, partnership, manufacturing account. These are the topics which we need to study for our course. So till this time, as discussed, that you were doing depreciation or you were doing some provision for doubtful debts, the topic in your book, in your school, I want to ask Akhil that what you were doing, Akhil, what you have done till now in your school. Akhil, what you have done till now in your school? Which chapters? You are on depreciation?
Depreciation talk.
Okay, good. Inshallah, we will be able to reach till that point very soon. Maybe in the first week of July, we will be able to reach that, because in the next lecture, next two lectures, we will be doing books of prime entry. They are important, and from the next week, we will be able to do provision for doubtful debts and other chapters. We will be able to reach that point. So let's start going ahead. Invoice. What is invoice? Remember that these are all evidences which we use in accounting. Invoice is a document which is issued by the seller to the customer, giving him details of the goods sold to him and asking him for the payment. एक बात अकील मनाल बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो ये है बेटा कि इनवॉइस इज यूज्ड ओनली फॉर क्रेडिट ट्रांजैक्शंस. इनवॉइस इज यूज्ड ओनली फॉर क्रेडिट ट्रांजैक्शन, यानी कि उधार पे अगर आप चीज़ें खरीदेंगे, उधार पे आप चीज़ें बेचेंगे, सिर्फ तब आप इनवॉइस को रिकॉर्ड करेंगे. Means invoice is used for credit transactions only. Goods purchased on credit, we will use invoice. Goods sold on credit, we will use invoice. But if we are purchasing and selling goods for cash, invoice will not be used. It will not come at all. Right? We will not use invoice. So invoice is a document which is used for credit purchase and credit sales. And what it is, it's a document in which I will write the name to whom the goods are sold. I will write the quantity, the things which are sold out, their amount, any discount given to him, I will subtract, and I will send it to the customer. And that document is an evidence for asking the payment. Customer will sign that document and he will return that document to me. Customer will sign that document and he will return that document back to me. Again, I will receive the document and that will become my evidence, that I will keep that evidence with me, so that on the due date, I will show the customer that evidence that you have made a commitment with me. You have purchased that amount of goods from me. Now you're supposed to make the payment on that date, whatever has been committed with me. So that is the purpose of invoice. You don't need to prepare invoice. That is not a part of your syllabus. That is not a part of your 7707 or 0452 as it is changed. Invoice की definition आपको आनी चाहिए. And I told you that invoice is used for credit sales and credit purchases. It is a document in which we write the name, amount of goods, their total, and a discount given. We will send that invoice to the customer and we will ask him for the payment. He will sign that and return it to us. That is an evidence which we can use anytime. Check counter file is also used and vouchers are used for the payment made or received through check. अगर आप देखें तो आपने चेक अगर देखा हो तो उसके पीछे एक पर्ची लगी होती है छोटी सी, उसे कहते हैं चेक काउंटर फाइल. Check is on the check, it is written pay rupees. You will sign that and you will torn the check, right? You will tear the check from the checkbook and you will give it to your supplier or trade payable to whom you have to make the payment. He will go and he will get it cashed from the bank. But the small where it has been torn, that is called check counter file, and you will write the name of that person and the amount that you have given that amount to him. It can be used afterward, that whenever you feel that that amount has been deducted from my account. What was the reason? You can see from check counter file. Check counter file is also used as an evidence when you make the payment through checks. Receipt, I already told you, when the amount is paid in cash or you give an amount in cash, then the receipt will be used as an evidence that the payment has been made or the payment has been received. Then two important concepts, pay slip and wage sheet. Pay slip and wage sheet, it is used for the payment of wages to employees. When you used to make the payment to our employees, there is a wage sheet in which we write their timings, their rate of pay and the amount, and we will give it to them. That is called wage sheet. So it is used for the payment of wages to employees, and it is used and filled whenever we are going to deposit an amount in the bank. उसको भी पे स्लिप कहते हैं, आपको पता ही है. तो आप बैंक जाएं पैसे जमा कराने के लिए तो आपको कागज मिलता है, you will fill that up and you will put it in the bank. So these are all these are all definitions which you need to memorize actually, because they will not come as practical, they will come as theoretical part of your syllabus. So you need to solve it through theory pattern and you need to memorize these definitions. The last one is credit note and debit note, right? I want to make you write it down. You can take the pic of this. You can take the pic of this page. Kindly take the pic of this page. और कैपिटल रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर की पिक भी मैं आपको दे देता हूँ अभी, इसकी पिक आप ले लें. So you have to write it that credit note and debit note are used for the return of goods. Please write it down. Credit note and debit note are used for the return of goods. यानी क्रेडिट एंड डेबिट नोट कब यूज होते हैं? जब हम चीजें वापस करते हैं या आपको वापस आती हैं. Credit note and debit note are used for the return of goods. There are two types of return. There are two types of returns. One is called purchases return and the other one is called sales return. There are only two types of return. You know that. One is called purchase return and the other is called sales return. What is the entry for purchase return, Akhil? Can you please tell me the entry for purchases return? Akhil, can you tell me the entry for purchases return? Ji, Akhil, are you here? Nasir, can you tell me the entry for purchase return or sales return? The entry for purchase return and sales return is, I'm going to show you, there it is. The entry for sales return is sales return debit and customer credit, sales return to customer, because sales return are always debited and the person from whom the goods are returned back to us, they will be credited because trade receivable is decreased, decrease in trade receivable credit. Customer भी कम हो रहा है आपका. Let's suppose अगर उसका नाम दिया हो, then you will use the name A. If the goods are returned back to us from A, the entry will be sales return to A. And for this entry, you will issue credit note. Means if the goods are returned back to us from customer, we will issue credit note to our customer. It shows that goods have been received by us and we have decreased the customer, the trade receivable, by that amount. Why we are decreasing the trade receivable? We are giving him a credit and we are sending credit note. It shows that we have decreased our trade receivable by that amount, because we are not supposed to get that amount from him anymore because he has returned the goods back to us. So that entry called as sales return to customer, and that is known as your credit note. You will issue credit note to your customer. It's a document which tells the customer that the goods have been received by us. कि हमें सेल्स रिटर्न पहुंच गई है और हमने तुम्हें क्रेडिट कर दिया है. क्रेडिट कर दिया क्योंकि ये पैसे हम तुमसे अब नहीं लेंगे. तो हम जब चीजें वापस आती हैं आपके पास तो we will issue credit note. Same the other return is purchases return, and the entry for purchase return is trade payable or supplier to purchase return. Purchases return will always be credited, क्योंकि purchase debit होती है तो purchase return credit होती है, sales credit होती है तो sales return debit होती है. तो purchase return credit होंगी, supplier or trade payable will debit because the supplier and trade payable is going to decrease. It is going to be debited because our liability is going to decrease. Why, sir? Because we have returned the goods, and now with that amount of return, we will decrease our supplier, we will decrease our liability with that amount because we are not supposed to make any payment for that. For purchase return, we will issue debit note. So when trade payable is debited and we have issued debit note, it states that we have issued the debit note to our supplier, making him realize that we are not supposed to make you this payment because we have returned the goods to you. So the trade payable is going to be debited, our liability is going to decrease. So credit note and debit note are used for the return of goods, they are business documents, but we will issue credit note and debit note with this concept that in the entry of return, अगर personal account credit हो रहा है, तो भी बंदा है इसको वापस कर रहे हैं, अगर वो credit हो रहा है तो credit note issue करेंगे, अगर वो बंदा debit हो रहा है तो debit note issue करेंगे. Easy. There are two entry for returns. If the person in the return entry is credited, we will issue credit note. And if the return entry, whatever, either it is purchase return or sales return, though it is return outward, it is debited, we will issue debit note. Either it is trade payable supplier or B, because name can also be used over here. This is how we will use our documents, and this is known as credit note and debit note. Now I will go for, I want you to take a pic of that page. I hope you have already taken that. Now I want you to take a pic of another page which was on that is basically our capital and revenue expenditure. Page was, I think, 88. Because I didn't ask you to go for a pic for that page, which may become difficult for you. So I want you to take the pic of this over here. You can take the pic so that you can keep it with you so that you can read it once, because you have to go through the assignment also, that is 24.7 and 24.8 from capital and revenue expenditure. 9.3 to 9.6 I have given regarding final accounts. So this has to be done by you, and I hope you have taken the pic of this capital and revenue expenditure. We have studied business documents also today, and now we will move towards the books of prime entry. But as discussed earlier, because I want you to prepare yourself for accounting concepts, because there is going to be a quiz also other than the homework given to you. Homework though, it's very simple, because 9.3 9.6 was the previous homework. Today's homework is only 9.24.7 and 24.8, which you can do in 5 minutes. So you need to prepare yourself for accounting concepts, because there is a quiz regarding that, and we have studied these accounting concepts. You can study these accounting concepts from Frankfurt book to make your concepts more clear. You can study that from the Frankfurt book, right? So that you can have an idea. The quiz will not be that difficult. जी
वो मैंने पिक्चर खींचनी है.
किसकी?
वो जो आपने पहले कहा था.
Business documents की और capital revenue expenditure.
Capital revenue expenditure.
Okay, I'll go to it. No problem. ये क्या हो रहा है? पिक्चर क्यों नहीं आ रही? कैपिटल एंड रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर की आप पिक्चर ले सकते हैं. You were away, maybe. I asked you to take the pic. I think you were away at that time. You were not there in the class. Here it is. You can take the pic now. Got it?
Yes.
Got it or not? Okay. Next, I want you to take the pic of some questions also, other than 24.7 and 8. Take the pic again. Got it? These are from the past papers. Past papers are also mentioned on the above side of the question. I'll move forward. Again, you can take the pic of the F part. Because that basically from your past paper questions, and I want you to go for that. And you can take this also. ये जो लिखा है आके also Ajib, we also incur the following: delivery of motor vehicle, fuel to motor vehicle. ये revenue expenditure आपको बताना है. You can take that pic. बता भी सकता हूँ. Delivery of motor vehicle from manufacturer, that is capital expenditure. Fuel of the motor vehicle is revenue expenditure. Sign writing of the business rather on the motor van, his business name, that is capital expenditure. हाँ जी. Motor van insurance is also an expense.
Sir,
okay. Next, you will take the pic of this. This table also belongs to the same thing. हाँ जी. Okay. Okay, that's good. This is we have done. ये आपने पिक्चर ले ली. मैं इसको डिस्कस भी कर लेता हूँ. You can go for the next pic also. Next pic. That's it. That is the last one. And I discussed with you also this particular point. Sold office equipment. When you sold office equipment, right, then it means that you are receiving cash by the selling of asset. The amount received by the sale of non-current asset is a capital receipt. As I discussed with you, that amount paid on the purchase of a non-current asset is a capital expenditure. Then amount received on the sale of a non-current asset is capital receipt. Then receive interest on deposit account. This is income statement item. It's a revenue receipt. So it will come on the revenue receipt side. Over here. Took out a 5-year bank loan. You have taken a loan from the bank, that is capital expenditure. Because bank loan is a liability and you have taken a loan, capital receipt, I'm sorry. You have taken a loan. So it's a capital receipt because cash you are receiving. Then paid property insurance, that is revenue expenditure, expense है आपका. That is revenue expenditure. Bought motor vehicle to deliver goods, right? That is also capital expenditure because motor vehicle is a non-current asset. Received commission is a revenue receipt. Received commission is a revenue receipt because it's a income statement item and it is also an income. It comes in the income statement. So the first one, sale office equipment, is a non-current asset. Sale of non-current asset is a capital receipt. Received interest on deposit account, it's a revenue receipt. Then take out a 5-year bank loan, it's a capital receipt because you are receiving a bank loan. and the amount is received on behalf of a bank loan. Then paid property insurance, it's an expense, income statement item. So it's a revenue expenditure. Paid motor vehicle to deliver goods, it's also an expenditure. But because the motor vehicle non-current asset is purchased, so it's a capital expenditure. Over here, revenue received commission, it's a revenue income because you are receiving commission as income. Normal running of the business में आपको income मिली है, day to day income है, तो ये revenue receipt में आ जाएगी. तो ये questions भी आप जो है वो घर में आपने करने हैं. We were discussing about accounting concepts. I want to do, I want to go for some of the accounting concepts and some of the exercises also. I will solve only those. I will discuss only those which are easier one. Why? Because unless you will not study all the chapters of accounting, you won't be able to handle it properly. Because this comes, all the chapters are covered in these accounting concepts. So the first one is given in D part. I am not discussing that. I'm discussing the next one. Okay, I won't discuss that also. Number 3, reduce the depreciation rate on computers from 30% to 10%. That is wrong. Why? Because consistency concept जो है वो यहाँ break हो रहा है. उन्होंने बताया कौन सा concept है that would not be complied with, जो कि यहाँ पे comply नहीं हो रहा, adopt नहीं कर रहे. तो अगर आप अपने depreciation को 30% से 10% कर दोगे, तो it means you are not consistent with your accounting procedures. तो consistency concept यहाँ break हो जाएगा. यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ जी received record expense paid without adjustment to amount owing. यानी आपने expenses रिकॉर्ड किए हैं लेकिन एक अमाउंट ऐसी थी जो अभी आपने पे करनी थी, वो आपने रिकॉर्ड नहीं की. तो कौन सा कॉन्सेप्ट ब्रेक हो रहा है? एक्रूअल कॉन्सेप्ट. क्यों सर? क्योंकि एक्रूअल कॉन्सेप्ट सेज दैट एक्सपेंस इज रिकॉर्डेड इन द पीरियड टू विच इट रिलेट्स, आइदर इट इज पेड और नॉट. तो ये ऐसा एक्सपेंस है जो हमने पे कर दिया, वो तो हमने रिकॉर्ड किया, लेकिन एक अमाउंट ओइंग थी जो उसी साल का एक्सपेंस था लेकिन हमने पे नहीं किया था, तो कैश से हमारा ताल्लुक नहीं है, हमें इसको रिकॉर्ड करना है. तो कौन सा कॉन्सेप्ट यहाँ ब्रेक हो रहा है? एक्रूअल कॉन्सेप्ट इज बीइंग ब्रोकन ओवर हियर. वो हम यहाँ पर अप्लाई हम करेंगे, हमें करना चाहिए. तो ये मेरे ख्याल है इसमें हम बाद में ही इसको डिस्कस करें इन कॉन्सेप्ट को, तो ज़्यादा बेहतर हो जाएगा हमारे लिए. मतलब जब हम O3 में जाएं तो हम इन क्वेश्चन के क्वेश्चंस हैं तो अकाउंटिंग कॉन्सेप्ट्स की, ठीक है, थोड़ा सा आइडिया मैंने दिया है, लेकिन ये क्योंकि थोड़ा बाकी चैप्टर्स को भी कवर करते हैं, तो आफ्टर स्टडिंग एटलीस्ट टिल डेप्रिसिएशन देन वी बी एबल टू हैंडल इट मोर ईजीली. यानी कि 27 चैप्टर्स पढ़ने के बाद आफ्टर 27 चैप्टर then it will become easy for us to handle it. So next chapter which we will discuss till today, what we have done, Akhil, we have done till 10 chapters of the book. We have done till 10 chapters of the book. Then we have also gone for chapter number 24, which belongs to capital and revenue expenditure. We will do 23, 25, which is provision for doubtful debts and depreciation. But before going into that, as capital and revenue expenditure deals with the theoretical part of the syllabus, as then we have discussed business documents, it also belongs to theoretical part of the syllabus. Now we are accounting concepts, we have done again theoretical part, chapter 1 to 10 from your book. Some chapters are not a part of your syllabus. Now we are moving from chapter 11 to chapter 16. We will do all chapters in one go, 11 to 16, because they are all belongs to books of prime entries. Books of prime entries are also called books of original entries. And there are 6 types of books of prime entries: sales journal, purchase journal, return inward journal, return outward journal, then cash book and journal journal. Cash book we will prepare cash book, but we will prepare cash book in the same question, in the same way as we have done in books of prime entry. Yani we will include the question of cash book in books of prime entry. We will do that during that books of prime entry, so that it will not create problem for us. It should not create problem for us. So we will do books of prime entries, journals. After that we will do cash book, and then we will prepare our ledgers, and then we will move towards then 11 to 16 chapters will be covered. Next 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, they are not part of your syllabus. Only petty cash book is a part of our syllabus. We will be able to do that also, because petty cash book is now, it was not part of syllabus in the past. It is a new inclusion in your syllabus, that is petty cash book. And I am sure about this, that nobody has done petty cash book up till now, although it comes in the early part of your syllabus. Has anybody have done petty cash book? Any one of you? Any one of you who have done petty cash book? No. Akil, have you done petty cash book?
Yes, sir.
Petty cash book you have done. Petty
Yes.
cash book, not cash book.
Yes, sir. Petty cash book किया हुआ है.
किस बुक से किया आपने? कहाँ से सॉल्व किया था? फ्रैंकफर्ट से?
Yes.
Okay. Which chapter is this for the petty cash book?
तो पता नहीं सर, अभी मेरे पास कोई बुक नहीं है.
That is chapter 18 actually. ठीक है? The petty cash book and then press system. The petty cash book we will cover also from our book, that is chapter number 18. We will do that also, inshallah. And that is very easy. It's not going to be that difficult. Easy one. One more thing which I want to discuss. Inshallah, we will be able to do books of prime entries in the next lecture, because time is short now. One thing I want to discuss with you is that we will be able to cover the syllabus along with past papers. With books of prime entries, with petty cash book, with cash books, we will also solve past papers along with that, so that we cannot find any serious problems. Number two is this, that the paper pattern has been changed, so you have to be well prepared regarding your IGCSE syllabus also. So I will be able to, I will definitely give you some IGCSE questions also from the past papers, because the pattern of your syllabus, even if you are doing O levels, has been changed more towards IGCSE. If you go through the paper, the specimen paper, you will find that most of the part of your specimen paper is of the nature, as of style which has been adopted, is of IGCSE. So the paper, most of the concepts comes from IGCSE from 2020, but we don't have any sample paper. We have a specimen paper for that, but we don't have any sample paper for that, because 2020 May June is not going to be, papers are not going to be held, and papers are not held. That's why maybe October November is also at stake. So it means you are going to be the first one. No, not the first one, the second one, because in May June maybe the papers are going to happen for O3. They're going to be the first one that we will be able to see the paper which has come with the new pattern. So new pattern we will be able to see in the next May June, or in October November, if the papers are going to be held, which is a big question mark. So this completes our topic here. Any question if you want to ask me, you can. In the next lecture we'll move towards books of prime entry, which is a difficult topic, and we will also do some assignment or some quiz from accounting concepts. Any question if you want to ask, you can. Take good care of yourself and your family. Nasser is not here. Nasser has left the class early. Okay. Akil, your name is, can you please tell me your name? Muhammad Akil Hassan. Okay. Now I got it. Inshallah, I'll be able to enter you in the class every time. Okay. See you then. Have a nice day. Take care.
Allah
On Monday.
Hafiz, sir.
Allah Hafiz.